What's going on, guys? It's Landon, and this is David, and that's my fourth intro, and we're Taffie Hoops. Today's video could become a series if you guys like it, so let us know. But we're doing underrated versus overrated players, and we're just gonna see like what players underrated, what players overrated. Do you think that they're just as they should be? And with that, we're gonna get right into it.
So the first player we're gonna talk about is Tobias Harris. I've thought he's been overrated for the past year mostly. He's been putting up all-star numbers very similar to Chris Middleton. 20 points per game, 50, 40, 90. Why is Chris Middleton an all-star and not Tobias Harris? I feel like that's my case for it.
Ben Simmons' fault. It's all Ben Simmons' fault. Let him on Ben Simmons, he's the worst. But no, I'm dead serious. If Ben Simmons wasn't there, Tobias would be majorly in the all-star conversation because he'd be putting up better numbers. He'd be putting up more points.
Right.
And he'd be the second best player in Philly. So.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. But Tobias Harris, because he doesn't get those all-star selections, doesn't really get noticed by many people. Like many casual fans, they probably don't know who Tobias Harris is, but they know who Chris Middleton is because of the playoffs of last year. So I feel like he just needs a lot more recognition, a lot more praise for what he's been doing in Philly. He's just been doing very, very well this year, and I don't think he gets recognized for it.
Yeah, he doesn't. Next one on our list, which we got Devonte Sabonis. So of course we like to talk about the Pacers on this channel because we're Pacers fans. But he's awesome. But no one thinks he's that awesome. No, but seriously, Devonte Sabonis is just like a budget Nikola Jokic, who's the MVP of the league. And so why aren't people making as big of a deal about Sabonis as he is?
So Sabonis has been the most available player in the league, besides Jokic, most available all-star in the league. He's played 91% of his games in his career, and that's better than all the other all-stars besides Nikola Jokic last year.
Yeah, that's wow.
And especially playing on a Pacers team who everybody's injured. He is that main guy who stays on the floor, just keeps playing and keeps putting out great numbers and great wins for our team. He's almost the sole reason why we were even in the play-in.
Yeah, no doubt. He's the only reason the Pacers are relatively a competent team, and we're not like the Detroit Pistons. Well, no, we had better players than the no, scratch that. But it's the reason that we were in playoff contention. Yeah. He's just underrated. Just because he plays in Indiana for the most part. We're just not the team that people are going to be talking about unless we're doing crazy good, like we do some years. But when we're just the 8th seed, 9th seed, 10th seed, people aren't going to be talking about Indiana, so therefore people aren't going to talk about Sabonis. Which sucks.
Yeah. He has a great shot that nobody really talks about. He shoots 32% from 3, which for a league average is not great. He's right below it. But for big men, he's in the 70th percentile. He's a very good shooter for his size, for his position. And also, he's probably the second best playmaking center in the league. Probably one of the top post-scoring big men in the league. He's putting up 20 points a game. He's putting up 12 rebounds on a team that's not rebounding well. So he kind of has to do that, and he can do it well. So he's very good at everything in the game. It just doesn't stand out because he's in Indiana.
Yeah. Can Devonte Sabonis be the number 2 on a championship team? Because that's what I see him as. I like ceiling.
Yeah.
He's a number 2 on a championship team.
Yes.
Yeah.
He needs to be with a really good superstar, but he can be that number 2 on a championship team.
Yeah. Also, another thing that just came to my mind about Sabonis, he's also very quiet. He's very quiet and reserved.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not the type of guy that's gets to All-Star Weekend and he's ah! And he's just that crazy All-Star that gets everyone grabs everyone's attention. He doesn't have a flashy play style either. And
right.
So that I think that's that contributes to his popularity, his everything's going no one's tweeting look at this play by Devonte Sabonis. They are a little bit, but not really.
It's all of his passes.
Yeah, it's just he plays very. It's not flat. It's not. it's not even boring, but it's just not very like flashy. So yeah, so boring. But yeah, he's a great player, and I love him as an Indian face fan, and I think everyone else should too. Who doesn't also? Our next underrated player comes from our Discord server. So make sure you use the link in the description so that you could be in a future video like this. Do you want to?
Yeah. So he brought up Christian Wood. He got injured in the middle of last season, but not many people considered him for most improved player. He brought up his stats so much last year. His stats were similar to Anthony Davis, which won't last for long, but it was the way he was playing like an all-star, and he was never considered like an all-star.
Yeah, I mean, obviously injuries are in play there, like a ton of injuries are in play there with like AD being injured and Christian Wood being injured. So Christian Wood played really good before his injury, and AD kind of played in before his injury, and then they both got injured. So of course those stats are going to look similar. But Christian Wood going into the season was a lot of people's predicted most improved player, and then of course he didn't get it because of of course he just I don't know. Yeah.
Also, one thing I'd say about him, he had the Rockets over 500 when he was playing. They were like 11-10, and once he got injured, they went on a 25-game losing streak. So he was the heart and soul of that team, and once he left, or not when he left, when he but he was like Fat Harden then. He was trying to get out of Houston.
That's true. He wasn't helping contribute to it.
But like they were even winning after Harden left with Christian Wood.
Yeah, that's true.
Once Wood got injured, they started derailing. They lost 25 in a row. Like it probably helps them. They got the second pick. They have Jalen Green now, but like Christian Wood was the heart and soul of that team.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Christian Wood is very underrated, and I think sad because no one thinks of him as like that like a future all-star like De'Aaron Fox or like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Right.
Whereas like he might be in that conversation if he didn't get injured this season.
Right.
This next one is a little weird. And I think so. It's again from our Discord server from our friend Jude. So I don't know if you're putting them on the screen, but yeah. So Jude said LeBron James is underrated, which I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive Jude said it's a joke. And actually no, it's not positive. Jude said this is a joke, but I think we can draw something out of this, of that LeBron James is underrated in the sense of like the pure meaning of the word,
like recency bias, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like he didn't make it past the first round of the playoffs, but why did that happen? Injuries.
People are thinking less of LeBron than he is currently rated, which he's underrated. Like people think that he's not the best player in the league, and they think he's just completely out of like contention for best player in the league.
Like
it's just Giannis, Kevin Durant, but
he's that third guy in that conversation.
LeBron is still one of the GOATs. Maybe he might even be your GOAT. So I don't know. Like he's still putting up like MVP numbers, and he's 36,
almost 36. So now we'll move on to overrated players. We have 3 players for this. My first player is Klay Thompson. I feel like this is mostly directed towards Warrior fans. They're talking about like Klay Thompson comes back. We are a contending team. Klay Thompson's going to be back to all-star form, but they just need a reality check, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Klay Thompson's not going to be an all-star next year. I almost 100% sure about that. His injuries are going to affect him a lot. His defense is going to drop a lot. His shooting's going to stay the same, but he's not going to be able to move around as much as he did, just like get open shots. So his volume is not going to be great for shooting. And I bet his percentage is going to go down because he's going to get less open shots. So he's going to be still one of the best shooters in the league, but he's not going to have the volume of an all-star. He's not going to play like an all-star.
Of course he's not going to be an all-star. I don't think he's going to be an all-star again for the rest of his career. Because, I mean, if you think about it, he was an all-star because the Golden State Warriors were the best team in the league.
Right.
And the Golden State Warriors are going to be in the playoffs next year. I think I can say with confidence.
Yeah.
But they are not going to be
contenders.
The number 1 seed. again. They are not going to be the 73-9 Warriors. Yeah, I mean, and he's going to be a great role player, and I really hope we're wrong in this, that he's overrated. But I don't see him coming back and like being that crazy all-star like you said.
Yeah. I don't want to have false hope for Klay Thompson. Like, obviously, we hope for the best for coming back from his injury. He's going to play well, but he's not going to be the all-star like most Warriors fans say he's going to be.
Yeah. And then our next two guys are kind of linked together. We have Devonte Graham, who's on Pelicans.
Yes.
And Fred VanVleet, who is on the Raptors.
Yes. So, the reason why I say these guys are overrated is because their stats are so inflated because they take so many shots. They take so many shots. They're so inefficient, but their stats look so good to most casual fans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it just looks weird because like with Fred VanVleet, I don't even know. Like I've heard like people say stuff like, oh, like he could, like he's kind of like almost like an all, like he's not gonna be an all-star, but he's like an all-star caliber player. And it's just because like he's the best player on like a not playoff team. So
Yeah.
of course his stats are gonna be like 20 plus points, blah blah blah. But he's not. Like put him on the Lakers or the Nets, and he's scoring like 10.
Yeah, I feel like these guys are very good NBA players, but they are not guys that are almost all-stars or guys that are like contending for most improved player next year. Like these guys are gonna just be solid shot makers that, given the right amount of volume, they can be efficient.
Yeah. And then Devonte Graham, he's young, and so I'm not saying that like he's not gonna be an all-star ever, but I don't know if given like on the Pelicans even with Brandon Ingram and like Zion, I feel like they haven't. Valanciunas is gonna be above him with the scoring.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think Devonte is gonna be scoring like crazy amounts of points.
Right.
On the Pelicans.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I mean that could age horrible. Again, a lot of this stuff could age horrible. But I mean, look back on this in the first few weeks of the season. I bet Devonte Graham is averaging like 10 and 12.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad. Like I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying like their stats are insane.
Mm-hmm. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, just leave a like, comment your opinions on all this. Any more underrated or overrated players that you have. Subscribe to the channel if you like the content. And other than that, we'll see you later.
Peace.